Welcome back to the Livin' in Sedona channel. I'm Cami. I'm one of your local real estate agents, and I serve the Sedona and the Verde Valley area. So I do sell real estate in this area. And I just wanted to say throughout the video, there's going to be a relocation guide clicking on the screen. So at any time while it's on the screen, feel free to scan the QR code and the relocation guide will be delivered to your email inbox. It will be sporadically throughout the videos, or there is a link in the description below. The topic for today's video has been inspired by actually 3 sets of clients that I am working with currently. They are all considering relocating to Sedona and or the Verde Valley, and they're planning on retiring here. And one of the things that I thought was interesting is they all had very similar questions about certain topics. And so I thought, well, if they all have the same questions, then this is a video that needs to be done to give this information to all of you who may be considering whether you're going to be relocating here or planning to retire here. We're going to be talking specifically about 5 things that I think you should think about or consider before you do retire to Sedona and or the Verde Valley area. So we're getting started right now. Before we get started on discussing the topic of the video, I want to let you know where I'm located at. I always try to do my videos in different areas of Sedona to give you just the views that we get to enjoy living here. It's of course one of the top reasons people move here is to enjoy the beautiful landscape. But I am again at Cultural Park. One of the great things about Cultural Park, which is located just off of 89A, it's in between the Summit, the Hilton Summit Resort and Yavapai College. But one of the great things about this area is you can get some different views here. So whether you want to look at Thunder Mountain or this is Boynton Canyon behind me, there's several trails in this area that you can take to just take in all of the beautiful views. This is also a very popular spot for sunrise and sunset. Well, I guess it would be sunset, not sunrise. That would be on the other side. But a lot of people come here to watch the sunset. So just for point of reference, that's where I'm at. And I'm actually under a little pavilion here. So if you wanted to bring a picnic and just enjoy this, you could do that because they have picnic tables here as well. All right, so to the topic of this video, which is I'm going to discuss 5 things that I think you should think about if you are thinking of retiring here in Sedona and or the Verde Valley area. One of the things that I think is very broad related to this topic is the location of Sedona. This isn't one of my 5 things, but because of the location of Sedona, it's going to actually affect the 5 things that I'm going to talk about. So first up is the climate. Everybody wants to know what the climate is like year-round. So yes, we have our summer months that are hotter than, maybe the east side of the country. We do get up into the hundreds, but again, it's a dry heat. But most of the question is about the winter. What is winter like here in Sedona? Now let's think about the location of Sedona. It's about an hour south of Flagstaff and 2 hours north of Phoenix. Flagstaff is at 7,000 elevation and Sedona is about an hour south of there. So when they're getting snow, we can usually see that cloud coverage that Flagstaff has. So we do get snow and we do get lower temperatures in the seasons of, you could have it in December, even November, but really most of our winter is concentrated in about 6 weeks between January and February. If it does snow, it melts quickly, it doesn't stay, it comes and goes, it's very fast. And I would say the lowest during the daytime gosh, maybe 30, but I even think that it would feels warmer than that because the sun is usually out. And so during the daytime, you know, we can get up into the 50s even. So I feel that even though we do have snow, the climate is much more doable than if you were to maybe living in the north part of the country or on the East Coast. And it doesn't last long, which I think is one of the things that I like about it. We also have fall. I love that time of year. I think September, October, early November is one of the best times to be in Sedona if you are going to be visiting. But we do get, you know, the fall colors. Driving up through the canyon towards Flagstaff is just absolutely beautiful. We have cooler temps, and it's just a very beautiful, comfortable time of year. The other thing that we have is monsoon season. Sometimes we start to see it early July into late August. I feel like that's kind of been our season this year. We might have an early rain shower or an afternoon rain shower. It does not rain all day. Usually the thunderstorm comes and gives us beautiful skies, and then we're either sunny the rest of the day or we're good to go. It doesn't rain all day like it does in some areas of the country. So climate is varied. I like that we sort of have that 4-season change, but it's not as severe as if you were maybe located in other areas of the country. All right, that's climate. The other big question that has been important to these clients is safety. Is Sedona safe? And I have a statistic for you. So it's coming from the community dashboard from the city of Sedona, and you should be able to see it on the screen. But there's about 12 crimes per 1,000 residents per year. Honestly, this is my personal opinion. Please do not quote me on this. This is not like a statistics. This is my personal opinion. Our police in Sedona spend more time dealing with traffic violations in the way of speeding tickets and maybe rear ender bumper things, traffic issues, than they do crime. We just don't really have it here. One of the questions that my buyers had was, do you have gated communities that are, manned 24/7? We do have gated communities. Most of them are not, does not have a person sitting at the gate. Although, Enchantment or Seven Canyons, they do have people at the gate. But those are very high cost of living areas. So it is not always the place where not all of my clients are looking to, unless you have, several $1 million to spend, then we're not looking in those areas. But those are about the only 2 areas that have men at the gates. So Sedona is very safe. The third one is social life. Sedona, as you can see, the landscape just kind of encourages you to be outdoors. But as you age, you might not be able to do all of the hiking and the biking and different things that we do, that Sedona offers outdoors. We have a lot of ways for you to meet people and to get involved. We have a lot of wine clubs is big here because we do have vineyards in the Verde Valley area. So wine clubs are big. Yavapai College actually has cooking club that I know a lot of people enjoy doing. We have a lot of places that you can volunteer at, like the food bank is one. There's lots of hiking clubs. There's lots of churches and organizations that create the sense of community and different clubs that you can enjoy. We also have some of the communities have their own clubhouses, and so if you're part of those neighborhoods, then you're able to, that sense of community there with some of the activities that they have planned is another way, to meet people. So I do feel that, if a social life is important, one of the things that you need to think about and consider is the location of the property that you're purchasing in. the reason why I say that is because we do have some neighborhoods that they have no HOA, so there's no controlling of Airbnbs in that neighborhood. So if a neighborhood, knowing your neighbor is super important, then you need to maybe only look in neighborhoods that have restrictions on the Airbnb, because if you want to know your neighbor and you don't want it to be a different person every week because it's an Airbnb, then that's something to think about. We do have neighborhoods that have those restrictions and guidelines for Airbnbs, but we also have neighborhoods that don't. And so thinking about the location of a property that you are purchasing in regards to how that will affect your social life and your sense of community, it's really something to think about. Cost of living. Cost of living here is everybody's own perspective. If you're coming from California and you're moving here to Sedona, you might find that it's pretty reasonable and it's affordable for you. But if you're coming from the East Coast or the mid part of the country, the Midwest, you might have a sticker shock. So the home prices in Sedona are, I mean, the average cost of just a 3-bedroom, two bath home, move-in ready, is, you know, a little over $1 million. Right now, I do feel like prices are softening a little bit, but overall, the cost of living here is about 30% higher than the national average. And that and housing being the biggest part of that, in the way of utilities and groceries and gas and those types of things. I feel like we're pretty comparable to the rest of the nation. I just was back in Ohio not too long ago, and I always like to compare the cost of gas and the cost of groceries, and honestly, it was the same. We had the same price of gas was the same in Ohio as it was here, and the groceries are about the same as well. So the cost of living is higher here, but most of that is the housing. The housing is the biggest part of the budget. All right, and last but not least, and I think this is very, very important for an aging community, is the access to medical health care. We do have a standalone ER in Sedona, but our medical facility hospital is in Cottonwood, which is about 20 minutes outside of Sedona. But if you are somebody that has a heart issue, that is maybe dealing with cancer, you know, where you're having to go to, you know, see your doctor maybe once a month, you might find yourself driving either an hour to Flagstaff, where they have a full facility. I believe it's a trauma 3 facility, or you might actually be driving 2 hours to Phoenix, to the Mayo Clinic. So that is something that I think is important for someone who is, you know, of the retirement age, and that's going to affect, you know, your life. I mean, do you really want to spend it traveling 1 to 2 hours to visit a doctor if you have to go to the doctor? I mean, even once or twice a month, that's a lot of driving. So I think that's important to think about. So we have talked about 5 things. So the climate of Sedona, the safety of Sedona, the social life of Sedona, cost of living here, and the access to medical care. Those are the 5 things that I think, if you are heading into retirement or you are of retirement age, those are the 5 things that I think that you should spend some time thinking about and evaluating. One of the things that I do when I meet with my clients is we talk about these things, and I also like to take them on a tour of not only Sedona, but the Verde Valley area, so they see where the medical facility is, so they see what it's like on the outskirts of Sedona, and you know what there is around to be offered. And so if you would like to do that, you know, please reach out to me if you're visiting. I'm already have somebody that I'm going to be doing that here in the spring when they come, so I'm happy to give you that tour and talk through these things, because this is a very important decision. These are the years that you want to enjoy, and you should enjoy them. You've worked hard all your life, and you should enjoy a place that gives you peace and just happiness. But I also think that Sedona is a great place to live. I love living here. However, for some people, it's a great place to visit, not to live. And I don't say that lightly, because I sell real estate, I get it, but I'm not doing, oh sorry, I'm touching the mic. I'm not doing my job if I'm not providing all the information to you to have you make the best decision for you, because you're the one that's ultimately going to be living here or not living here. So I think it's a big decision. It's an important decision, and one you shouldn't take lightly. And so that's why I just try to do my best to see if Sedona is the right place for you to actually live and not visit. All right, well, hopefully I provided you with some great information. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast, but the relocation guide link has been on the screen on and off. I'll also put it in the description below, as well as some of the other links to some of the websites that I've used for some of the information. And please feel free to reach out with a comment, or even if you have questions. Love to interact with people who watch me. And if you have a question that maybe I haven't done a video on, that just helps me create more content for you guys. So like, subscribe, share, make sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss another one of our videos. And I will see you next week. Make it a great day at Living in Sedona.